Okay, YouTube is running. So that's good. Yeah, YouTube is running. Get the link. I believe everything is running correctly now. Just check so you guys can see. My internet is very bad. Very, very bad. But you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. So yeah, guess I'm live. But the thumbnail is not. Mm, okay, let me just remove the current thumbnail. Okay, how do I remove current thumbnail? Even the current thumbnail. I've done this before streaming. Now you guys can't experience fun. Okay, so the thumbnail is uploaded. So basically, what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be talking about what I've learned um, in my 20s. So don't mind me. I'm just washing my dishes. So yeah. Um, so basically, I'm going to be talking about what I've learned in my 20s. And to be honest, my 20s have been a roller coaster, you know, been ups and downs. It's been lessons and different kind of things that I've learned. So I just want to give my own point of view so far and how you guys can, help yourself or basically learn something from this. If you were to learn anything from this, is that your 20s are pretty unpredictable, do a lot of things. You do a lot of things, you know. You have to pick up different kinds of skills. For me, starting from 20, that's when I went to university. Um, so I went to the University of Pretoria. If you don't know that, it's in South Africa, and basically, I majored in computer science, which is not something a lot of people want to be in at the moment because it's very bad. Finding a job, it's near impossible for most people, but I don't know how I did it. I'd say mostly due to connections, but we'll get to that. Um, so yeah, I went to the University of Pretoria. I started off by majoring in computer science, and my first semester, that's when COVID hit, and I won't lie, I was failing my first semester. Like I failed every single module. Um, every single module. I failed, and this is including the math and the discrete mathematics. the computer science courses, all of those. I failed those. Um, I passed one module, which was like an AIM thing for Excel. It's pretty funny when you think about it. But yeah, I basically failed all my modules first semester. And after failing my modules, my father advised me to switch pages. I didn't like to switch. I was really into computer science, even though I had done computer science before. I done computer science actually, um, what we call Form 6, where I come from. I come from Zimbabwe, if you would like to know. So I did Form 6, and basically I did do computer science. We used C#, and I remember making a .NET project. It was this Suits site, like a Suits application where you go and you try and purchase a suit. It wasn't a website. It was just an application that you download and install. And it's stupid, but yeah, that's basically what I made. So yeah, so after failing all my modules in first semester, my father told me to, this is not working out. You have to register for something else. So my sister had done information science. So basically, I decided to do information science. Hopefully, and actually, they allowed us to switch. So it was great. Even though you failed, you can go and do another degree. Basically, moving from a degree because you can't handle it. Basically, that's what kind of saying. But I was very bummed out, very, very bummed out. I even thought of taking a maths major, and I'm someone who's failing in computer science, but I want to go to mathematics. And I'm like, doesn't make sense. They're obviously not gonna allow me to join because I'm failing the maths modules in the computer science modules. So I've always been like that. I've always wanted to do actually I wanted to do computer science since 2019, in my last year of high school. Before that, I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I did music. Basically, I was just a music guy. I just enjoyed music, and I did music. So, but when my last years of high school came, that's when my father told me to pivot to do something computer science related, and luckily I took his advice. I always don't like taking his advice, but I guess this one, I'll just give him a little bit of credit for that one. But yeah, I took computer science, and basically, yeah, I ended up failing, and first semester ended up with COVID and the whole university being shut down. So basically, we ended up working from basically learning from home. And once we started learning from home, that first year, when I switched to information science, I realized something, everything just seems to flow in information science. I didn't even have to think about it because it was just essays and basic explaining, describing. There was no math. There was none of those things. Just basic describe, explain, writing essays and all those things. So during COVID, basically open book basically means you don't even need to think about anything. So everything was open book, which means I had to focus less on trying to memorize these things to write them in class. So I ended up doing a lot of different things throughout those 3 years. Basically, I started off with music, just recording things on my own. I never published anything, but I'll publish something for you guys just so you can laugh at this guy, see what he was doing. But yeah, basically just making music, hip hop, obviously, because of the major influence. But yeah, I did hip hop. And basically, while recording, I started dabbling in animation. I did a little bit of animation um, using cracked software, of course. We don't use paid software. I've never used paid software. It's always cracked. I'm gonna say it, but it's always some cracked Adobe Edition type of software that I just found on a website that I do not want to disclose because those guys helped me through the tough time. But yeah, so while cracking software and basically making my own things, I dabbled in 2D animation. I dabbled in 3D animation as well, using Maya, Blender. This was in 2022, and I was still trying to produce on the side as well. So I used cracked versions of FL Studio to just try and produce something, and all of them were not bad, but I basically lost most of it because of the laptop. And now I have some of it, but yeah, I lost a lot of it. But yeah, I used FL Studio, the cracked version, and basically I tried to just create things, create some type of art because I was just trying to figure out what works for me. At that time, I wasn't really deep into programming like I am right now. So fast forward those 2 years, I dabbled in a little bit of trying to do YouTube. So I've come back, as you can see. I'm finally doing YouTube again, live streams. But I tried doing YouTube and I failed miserably doing YouTube, and I'm back again. So yeah. So after that, I, you know, still going back into university. I was still, acing, sometimes getting distinctions the whole of 2022. And what actually happened before that in 2021, in my second year, after I failed computer science in my first year, I decided to retake two of the computer science courses, specifically programming courses. It was an introduction to computer science, computing, that I took, and a C++ course, and I passed. I really wanted to do computer science, and regardless, even if though I failed my first year, I still went back and did it. So that's a lesson in itself, Sometimes things don't work out as you want them to, In high school, I had this laid out plan. I was gonna buy this fancy car. I was gonna be this buy this flat, and I was gonna be happy. But turns out those things actually don't make me happy. You have to know yourself sometimes. And that failure taught me something, throughout my university years, even afterwards, taught me a very big thing. School is not everything you think it is, School is just there for you to learn the basics. And I'm not going to say school is not important. There are definitely things that school has taught me. English, even though it's not that good, taught me understanding of mathematics. I used to really love somewhat mathematics, even though I started failing at it. But mathematics and chemistry, I used to really dabble in those. And it teaches you surface level things. And later on, you decide if you want to specialize. You want to do programming? Do you want to do coding? You decide, No one's gonna decide for you. You have to decide what you want to do. So for me, turns out I just enjoy making things with programs or programming. And now, fast forward to 2023, I've just started, programming using artificial intelligence. I think the biggest thing to happen is artificial intelligence. I think people should not overlook it. They should not overlook this. It's just like the internet, and the more you realize that this technology is here to help you and me, the better you start understanding that technology is here to stay, and it's just gonna keep on getting bigger and better. So for me, my real understanding of what I want to do started with programming now. And being 23 and being a junior software developer, and let me just get into how I got the job. I was struggling basically. At the beginning of the year, I think I applied to 100 jobs before I actually got the job I'm doing currently. So the reason why I got the job I'm doing currently is because I basically narrowed down my application and I had connection. I think that's the big thing, having a connection or someone who works at the company. I think this generation is definitely what's working. That's what worked for me. I'm not sure what will work for other people, but at least if you have a connection or someone who works in the company, you can or might get the job. So the thing is, with the industry I'm in, my father again comes into play. He works in the tech industry, fintech industry. So it's a small ecosystem of people that know each other, not in a way of, hey, these are execs or CEOs or whatnot. Just regular people that work a 9 to 5, your seniors, your juniors, even your team leads. Basically, just that. So it's not like it's a high position. It's actually not even in the company. It's an external company. But there's links of people that you worked with over 20 plus years. So they know what they're doing, and basically they can help you. So what I'm trying to say is, you just need to know some people. I got lucky. Now, I got lucky. Not something like this that everyone else on the planet, it's not a lot of people that can have connections. And for me, honestly, I don't think I would even, I wouldn't make it, even if I applied for big tech, your Google, your Microsoft, your Amazon, I wouldn't make it. That's not to say if I wanted to, I would, but I just don't want to apply to those companies. Why apply when you can start your own company? So that's been my motivation for since the beginning of 2023. Start up my own thing, not specifically a company, but to just find something that I do for myself. So that leads me to another point. Make things that you want for yourself. Doesn't even need to be for 20 people, or 50 people. It needs to be for yourself, you and your friends. If you have friends, for me, I don't have any friends, but regardless, you just make things for yourself. Um, even if you see it as a waste of time, just do it for you. At the end of the day, you're living for you. You're not living for anyone else. And when you die, you're basically gonna be you on your deathbed alone. Um, so yeah, you just need to embrace yourself for those types of things. Um, just how life is at the end of the day. So for me, I found that making a program that helps me in my job could help other people. If it starts into a company, well, that's that. If it doesn't, it's fine as well. As long as I can look back and say I was making something for me. And I think that's what's really important. So what I'm trying to make for me is something that basically understands you, your code, what you're trying to solve, the problem that you're doing. And basically, at this point in time, it's a code editor. So it will edit your code based on the problem that you're solving. So to have context of different applications that you're using, and basically in the application that you're writing code in, it understands, hey, this is what I'm trying to solve. Obviously, at the moment, it's just a prototype. I just have a basic thing that just edits your code in any IDE, basically, but it doesn't have all the context of the other applications, which is something I'm working on, but with time we'll see. So yeah, that's something I want to create, and honestly, I'm thinking of spending my entire life just building one thing. I think there's a book called The One Thing, and basically, you just need to find that one thing that you do throughout your life. Something that you know that this is for me, and no one else can do it like I do it. So you have to find something for you. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at in my life at the moment. So at 23, the things that I've really learned is school is not everything. It's not the end all be all. You can learn anything from anywhere. You don't need to learn everything from school. It's not going to teach you your passions. It's not going to teach you what you're good at. You are going to find that out in the next 70 years of your life until you die. And another thing I've learned is, in order for you to get employed or be an employee these days, it's very hard. And you need some connections, some people that get you halfway there. But you also have to have your own motive. You have to push yourself to apply. If I didn't take the first step to apply, and later on someone helped me to get in, it wouldn't have mattered. So my first step was the fire, the initial spark that led me to be employed. So that's one thing about getting a job from my point of view. The second thing is just make things for yourself. Try to make something, build something, make music. Even if you don't post it, even if you don't get views on it, even if no one seems to care, because no one ever cares, just post. I think I have a problem of not posting a lot of things, just because I don't like posting. So I'm gonna try and do my best just to post. Who cares? Even if people see it, even if people don't see it, at the end of the day, I'm doing me. That's what matters. So yeah, just post things, put things out there for yourself, if not for anyone. Another thing that's very big in your 20s is you're gonna feel pressure. TikTok is a big component of this. TikTok is driving people to do things they've never done in their life just because of TikTok. It's short, addictive content. And I believe trying to stay away from something like that will be helpful for you. Try to post, not be the consumer. Consumerism is bad. Consuming is bad. Try to at least post, right? Instead of consuming, post about your life. You think about it. 50 years time, you think, hey, I should have been posting something like this 20 years ago. Why wasn't I posting? Why was I doing that dance challenge? Oh yeah, because I saw this famous guy doing it. I saw this guy doing it, so everyone was doing it, so I had to do it. Which is fun in itself if you're really having fun. But if it's for a trend at the end of the day, I just don't see it as being something that you would be interested in. Make the type of music that no one thinks you care about, Even if you're the only one who listens to your type of music, who cares, bro? Who cares? You're doing you. You're trying to make something you feel inspires you, and that's what I feel is most important at the end of the day. Then another thing for me is copy. Sometimes you don't even need to think out of the box. You don't need to be no Einstein. You don't need to be super creative. Just copy. Copying basically means you copy from different sources and make it your own. You steal something, but you're still making it your own. So you're still doing you at the end of the day, and that's what's most important. You steal something, you make it your own. You don't need to wait for no one's permission. You're gonna do it regardless. Yeah, if you want to be a musician, if you want to be a developer, if you want to make something great, you don't need to be the first one. Google was not the first search engine, as people say. Meta was not the first social network. So why do you need to be the first at anything? Just copy, put your own spin onto it, and yeah, you have it, your own invention. And another thing is artificial intelligence. The thing that a lot of people are talking about. Artificial intelligence definitely has a bias from my end, but I like to be optimistic. I like to keep everything optimistic. That's what I think everyone needs to be, just optimistic. Sure, the world's gonna end someday. Even now, it could end now. Thunderstruck me right now. The world is gonna end now. Just bring love onto this place. Anything, a flood, earthquake. You see, I'm still standing. So basically, it means these things are unpredictable. I don't know the mathematical equation, but 1 in a trillion? Who knows? I'm not a mathematician. I'll look into it. Maybe I'll have better understanding, but for me, it's living in the moment. The man who's the most dangerous on the planet is someone who doesn't fear to die. Imagine someone who doesn't fear to die, who doesn't fear to be looked down upon, who doesn't fear shame, who doesn't fear rejection, someone who doesn't fear even relationships, someone who's so into themselves that they don't even feel anything, if they'll feel as if they live their life regardless of social media, regardless of what people say. They'll still they live the life. That's the kind of person I think, you know, just lives for themselves. It's lonely. I know. It's very lonely, but sometimes loneliness opens up your eyes. So do not feel as if being lonely is like the worst thing to ever happen to you. I'll tell you something that I don't think a lot of people even care about, but I think you decide for yourself, you know. Being around certain types of people makes you a bad person. And being around certain types of people makes you a good person. You just need to decide. And for me, I believe I need both. I do suffer from some symptoms of loneliness, but you have to push. You have to just be used to it. You know, if you're used to it when you were young, it's not a big issue for you when you grow up. So it depends on the person. So we were talking about AI, and suddenly I went off on a different tangent. But for me, artificial intelligence is not in itself intelligence, as in something that's transcending human beings, but something that is allowing us now to communicate with these computers. You know, thinking about it, this is definitely going to make our lives a lot easier. Being able to do things that you could take you hours in mere minutes. Imagine having your own assistant, you know, something that has your exact voice, um, knows what type of job you're doing, knows everything, all the errors that you've ever faced, and you know, all those types of edits that you did, the code base that you worked with, or even knowing that the job that you do. Wouldn't you want to be in power of something like that? Controlling something that has your likeness, is you in every way, shape, or form. Not in every way, shape, or form, but is you in a digital sense, and basically has your skills, and you're able to make money from it, and basically give access to other people. You still have your rights over all your work. You teach it, you show it how to do certain types of things, and basically you free yourself. A 9 to 5 is great, but you're not gonna work forever. That's something that you need to know. So you might want to pass your skills down to your grandchildren. How are you gonna do that if you don't have something that knows a certain type of skill that not even a lot of people know? So that's the thing. People need to be free, and that's why I started FreeFi. FreeFi, in essence of being free, um, free from your work, free from stress, free to be creative, free just to do the things that you want to do. And digitally, I think with artificial intelligence, we're getting there. And I think that's what I have from my end. What can I leave you with, going forward? I'll just leave you with one thing. Um, just be yourself. Be happy. Um, we won't live forever. We don't need to live forever. People carry on before us. People came before us. And I'm so proud, man. I'm so proud to be human. Sometimes I wake up and think, how can there be such different species out there in the cosmos? Just like human beings. Just like human beings. We one of one. There might be alternate universes out there we don't know about. Sure, there might be other galaxies we've never explored, but to think we're born in such an age where we can basically create. And I think the one thing that makes us really human is creating, putting things together and just coming up with something. That's something that takes soul, passion, grit, optimistic, being optimistic, just enjoying yourself, being happy about doing something, regardless of the outcome. That's what it means to be human. And even if we create this new type of life, still gonna be our human creation, and we still need to nurture it, just as how we nurture children, how we teach them to do things. I think for better or for worse, um, I'll believe in humans, you know, especially Generation Z, the younger generation. I'm part of Generation Z, and I'm already calling them the young. Okay, part of my generation, being 23, 24 right now. I think we have a chance. I believe in Generation Z. Um, Never believe what other people say. I believe in Generation Z heavily. We definitely have what it takes. When these old buggers get out of the way, actually, they're gonna get out of the way this century. I believe Generation Z has something to offer. You know, don't let anybody look down upon you just because you're a certain generation. That doesn't mean anything. Results talk. And I guess I'm done talking about mine. Time to do it. Time to actually do it. I hope you guys enjoyed, man. So that's my thing that's already closed. With that, I hope you guys have a good day, man. Cheers.